Cool guys, Coach Dylan here today with my good man Rusty, and today guys we're talking about a podcast on how you can build one of the sickest communities for your gym and how that can transfer to online as well. And so guys, really cool thing, we're down here in Adelaide with my man Rusty. Rusty, tell us who you are, who's your gym?
Yeah, Rusty, my name's Rusty and I have Purpose Fitness in Adelaide.
Yeah, sick. And Rusty's been a good mate of mine now, and it's been really cool. I've known Rusty probably for about 12 months. Mm-hmm. Every single week he tells me about this thing at his gym called Game Day, and he's like, bro, you got to come down to Game Day. And like for the last 12 months I've been shitting my pants thinking one day I'm going to have to show up and actually do this Game Day. But one of the cool things, and this is what our podcast is about today, is about using things like what Rusty does in his gym to build an epic community in your gym. And Rusty, bro, I'd have to say, man, like yesterday, you know, was probably one of the coolest fitness experiences that I've had in a long time. So I think you've done a good job there, bro.
Thanks, bro.
Man, can you just give us a bit of a zoomed out look at what is Game Day, bro?
Yeah, so Game Day came about because I wanted to, the way that I run the gym, I suppose, I run it a bit like a sports club, right? So during the week you work on your skills of fitness and energy systems and all that kind of stuff, getting stronger. But on the weekend, it was like, it's our game day. It's a bit like a sport, right? So during the week, say you're at footy training, you're working on skills, handballs, kicks.
Yep.
Here's the game plan. But on the weekend, you have to execute it. And I wanted to have that feeling where everyone had to come together. So it's a team-based workout that you wouldn't be able to finish on your own. And it just lifts the intensity and like just really builds the vibes.
Yeah, absolutely. And like, one of, I guess, the key things that hold people back from like a fitness journey is, you know, fear of loss, where they're going to have to give up some of their social aspects of their life, some of their friends. You know, the fear of hardship, where it's like, shit, that looks bloody hard, like I was thinking for the last year. You know, it's going to be tough to make changes. And then the fear of disappointment, will I stick this out? Will I like it? And I think what you've done a great job, bro, with your community, you've been able to address all of them. Because like, you know, even when we walked in yesterday, that fear of loss, you could just see everybody there, they had a friend. You know, and like one of the great things you guys did was, you know, your coach Josh had done a great job of, you know, he's like, hey, look, put your hands up, go find 3 friends. Everyone was buzzing, like everyone's like, yeah, and they're all chatting about the workout or maybe what they're doing on the weekend. And that just offsets that, you know, that fear of losing friends. You go to the gym, you make a friend. It was very cool. The other thing, I guess too, man, the fear of hardship. You know, like myself, Jimmy, Brad, we walked into this gym and we were like, shit, everyone looks really bloody fit here. And like I do weightlifting predominantly for my training, and like I haven't done a cardio session for a long time, and we walk into this thing and everybody's looking really fit. But, you know, your coach Josh, he's done a great job. Like, you know, when it gets tough, that, you know, you're doing this for your mates. You know, you're doing it for your mates. So that hardship was almost gone, because you're like, shit, I've got my mates here, I'm doing it for them. It was fucking awesome. And then that last one, the fear of disappointment, you know, I think one of the great things you guys did was like, you know, make sure you get along to Game Day, make sure you bring a friend, so everyone's sort of making people come, which obviously if you show up, you're going to get great results. And so I thought that was absolutely brilliant. And, you know, as we walked in, we did feel intimidated, we did feel a bit scared, but Rusty's community make it awesome. So, bro, I know you've done a lot of travel overseas, and I guess what were some of the lessons that you sort of took maybe from your coaching journey overseas that you sort of brought back to Game Day?
For sure, yeah, and that probably had a massive impact on it. Obviously, I played sport and multiple sports, so I like that club field is kind of what I wanted, right? I wanted people to be able to come together, like you said, so that was huge. But then from a travel perspective, I traveled solo, so for a long period of time. For nearly 10 years, I was overseas, coaching and training. And so if you don't go out of your way to make friends, you don't meet people, right? So it was trying to take the best bits of what I'd learned from, you know, traveling, being in different gyms and being in different sports clubs, and what is the best things that they did, they brought them together, right? So, and that, like you said, that's what breeds community, right? Is having other people there. That's where It's Better If Friends came from.
Yeah.
One of my other Instagram is just like, because when you have a mate, it was always like, oh yeah, let's get around each other. And it just lifted the vibes, right? You're not doing it by yourself. It doesn't become like soulless, you know what I'm saying? So that was probably the biggest thing that I probably learned, is just, bringing people together.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And like one of the key things, I guess, and CrossFit does this so well, is they name their workouts, or they name parts of their program.
Yeah.
And how did you guys come up with Game Day, man? Like, how did you come up with that name? And I know it comes from your sports, but Tell us a bit more.
Yeah, it meant something to me, and I think that's why is because when I was traveling, and for example, like I was a snowboard coach for a while, I didn't have a game day.
Yeah.
Like my game day was just every day you went riding. So having something, and in the gym you didn't have that. It's just like you went and you lift weights, but like what are you doing it for? It didn't seem like there was a purpose. Like no, hence the gym school purpose. But it didn't like you got fit and stuff, but you never really, unless you had some event or something you could attach it to. It's like it always was very long term. So having each week you have your game day where you get to apply the skills of fitness and see yourself getting better and unlock new achievements, unlocks new level of fitness, or like I did this in that workout and I didn't think I could do it.
Yep.
It just means you get that little I suppose progress marker every week. And so like yeah, and also because like I said, it's the vibe, right?
Yeah.
Like you put that same workout during the week and people are like, don't maybe go as hard. But on the weekend, it's like, that is game day. That is that Saturday. And like I said, in sport, like you don't go as hard, you train hard in training, but on the game, you have to put in. So you would have heard me probably say on the day, it's like when it's your turn, you got to go.
Yeah.
And that's straight out of football. If the ball's there, you got to go. But it's the same in the effort in the gym, right? Like when it was your turn to go in the workout, your mate wants you to go, you want to go, you want to get the most out of yourself. So that's probably, like I said, largely from sport, but equally I wanted people to have that event that they could also celebrate every week. So.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And like, how do you go about making sure you get people to game day?
Right. So well, first was probably the workouts themselves. There's a specific, I suppose, or a bit of a formula that I put together. You generally know the workouts are going to be a 30 to 40 minute workout straight through, and you know it's going to be team, right? So it's not, you're never going to turn up to a game day really on a solo workout. It's going to be partners.
So why is that team important?
Because it supports one another, So it's like the team is important because also it lifts the intensity of the workout. Because like I said, when it's your turn, you got to go. Like even if you don't feel like going, you know your teammates there, and you don't like, no one likes letting people down. So it just lifts the vibe for that intensity. And like we said it earlier, like all the workouts are scalable. You don't have to be super fit to do it. One of our values for the gym is just effort. And that's all we want you to do. So just come to game day, just bring effort. Whatever effort you bring, right? Like you could be hungover or you could be good to go, but just bring the effort that you can that day, and that's what we want to see. So that's probably the other reason why the team part of it is so important to us, because you know you'll bring that little bit of effort if someone is keeping you accountable.
That's awesome, man. And man, one thing I have to sort of say that I thought was brilliant, and you weren't actually coaching the session, but your coach Josh did a few things very, very well. What he did was, first of all, in his brief, he was getting people actually engaging and talking. Also throughout the workout, like there was some clear communication, everybody knew what they were doing. But probably the best thing that I thought they did at the end, he brought everyone in together to have a big, high five, like team purpose sort of thing. And like, considering now, Josh is your, I guess, head coach apart from yourself, how have you been able to do that, man, as a gym owner, make sure that standard that you have created has been transferred to your coaches?
Probably the first thing, I guess, just lead by example first, right? Because that's how I built the gym, like how I built the systems. And Josh and I have been friends for quite some time. I've had the gym now for 3 years, and he's been there the whole time. So he's very much ingrained in the system and understands how the program and how it works. But I think he just feeds off those vibes too, right? As coaches, we want to see our guys do really well. And he just loves it. Like same as we really embrace it. And we know that by creating those events, those little mini events each weekend and creating those moments, that's like, you just don't get that anywhere else. No one's going in your office and going, hey guys, great boardroom meeting, and everyone's putting a hand in for a high five. Like that doesn't happen. So, and if you don't play sport anymore, or you've never played sport, and it's not saying that you have to play sport to be at our gym, but it gives you that feel like you could. Like you said, you don't have to be an athlete to train like one, and you don't have to be in a sports club to feel like you're winning. And I think those moments there that we've just produced organically, it's not like we're, all right guys, you have to put your hand in and they all feel like they have to do it. It's like, they just sort of happen. We wouldn't do it like not every session, because it would probably get a bit much if you did it all the time, but that was definitely a moment where it was big class, big energy, big vibes. It's game day, everyone's just had a savage workout, and it just gets around everyone again. Again, it's just building community. That's what it does. It gets people together.
Absolutely, man. And like that was probably the biggest takeaways that I got, from coming down to Purpose, was that aspect that Rusty has done to put that time into that community. Like everybody there was so tight. It's like they're showing up on a Saturday morning to bloody smash themselves to bits to a point, show up like it's a footy game or like it's a team game. but still with that element of fun, still with that element of catching up with your friends, and also that support, you know, and also having some great coaches to help you through the session. And I think it was really well done, man, and I think you've done something brilliant down there.
Thanks, bro.
Would there be something, man, I guess that maybe you have found was a little bit of a challenge getting these game days, or was it something that sort of...
Probably at first, because people wouldn't have known what it was.
Yeah.
Hey, come to game day. And they're like, what's game day? They didn't really get it.
How long did that take to sort of catch on? Like, it's game day.
So probably not as long as you would think.
Yeah.
I think because I educated them well about it, I was like, hey, game day is a big, like I say it, like it's big workouts. You train all week for this workout.
Yeah.
Like, can't wait to see it. And say, like, I would pump it up. I'd be like, this weekend's game day. It's going to be, it's like, I even said to you yesterday, and it was.
Yeah,
I wasn't even making it up. I was like, this is one of my favorite formats for this workout.
Yeah.
This particular workout we're going to do today, this follow the leader type workout, I'm like, I love it.
Yeah.
And because I have such enthusiasm for it, they fed off that, and they were like, oh well, I've got to come. I've got to go Saturday. So it probably didn't take as long, but once they'd been there and they'd experienced it, then what do? They came with a mate, and then they went and told a mate, you got to come next week. And if that person wasn't coming, they would have got another friend in. So from a business perspective as well, it's a great
for attention.
Yeah, and it's a great opportunity to get referrals because people want to bring their mates, and when they often bring them, it's when are they available on the weekend. And when do you want to come to the team workout, you can come train with me.
Yeah.
So it's another great aspect that helped to build our community as well.
Yeah.
So I also don't know if you noticed at the end there, like when the class was over, like they all hung around.
Yeah.
They didn't just leave. They all hung out and chatted and then went and got coffees and whatever. Like they're all, it's probably one of the biggest things that helped me grow my gym.
No, absolutely. It's massive. And once again, bro, you've done a great job of building this community. For the people out there watching this, is like 3 things there. Is like, name your sessions, you know, like give them a name, give them a purpose, you know, and also like promote it. Be the most enthusiastic person in the crowd, in the gym about it. Also, like, work on those little things, like a high five zone. You know, make sure people interact, touch each other, give high fives. You know, if they aren't doing it themselves, create it yourself.
Yeah.
And other thing is just, you know, live and breathe what you do. Rusty has built this from his experiences. He's built it from what he loves to do, and that just organically makes it become what it is. So, well done, brother. Cheers for coming on.
Thanks, man.
We'll see you next time for game day.
Yeah, boy. Yeah.
Sick.